I accidentally made a comment about my girlfriend's weight and I don't know how to fix it. So here's the backstory. My male 21 girlfriend, female 19, and I have been together for 2 years. When we started dating, she was a gym rat. We constantly worked out together to keep ourselves in good shape. My girlfriend also had a son when she was 15 from another guy who never bothered to be around for her or the baby. She had to lose a lot for her baby. She was kicked out and worked 2 part-time jobs on top of school to pay for herself and the baby. However, he was diagnosed with leukemia a few months into the relationship and passed away 5 months ago after chemo failed. This hit my girlfriend hard. She got in contact with her parents, who offered for her to move back in and not work so that she could deal with her grief. Instead, she moved in with me, and I currently support her financially. Since his passing, she's gained over 65 pounds and is no longer in the shape that she was when we first started dating. She has gotten back to normal in some aspects, such as being able to enjoy doing things, and has been more again. Well, recently, I went to a party and ended up cheating on her. It was nothing past, and it was just because of how much her body reminded me of my old girlfriend. Turned out, a few of her friends were at the party and ended up taking pictures of us making out and then leaving together. So, when I came home the next morning, my girlfriend was obviously pissed. She was yelling and crying to me about how she trusted me and how she couldn't handle this after losing her baby. I didn't really think much of it. She's been erratic in her emotions since the loss, so I was letting her take her time to process it. She just wouldn't stop though. It was over a half hour before I snapped back and said, quote, "If you didn't get so big, then I wouldn't have to." I immediately apologized and tried to explain that I didn't mean it that way. She didn't listen and locked herself in the bedroom for the rest of the day. She wouldn't even let me in when it was time for bed, so I slept on the couch. The next day, we talked it out and we decided to try to deal with this going forward. However, she hasn't been the same. She refuses to have with me, and the one time that we did, she made the lights be off and didn't let me touch her. She hasn't been cooking meals and has only been getting food for me. She has canceled all dinner plans that I've made with our friends or told me to go alone. She hasn't been wearing the bright outfits that she usually wears and only wears black sweatpants with a sweatshirt. She doesn't let me cuddle her anymore, and she keeps a pillow in between us as she needs it to, quote, align her back at night, even though she faces the other way. We used to shower every morning together, and she hasn't done that either. She's been showering when I'm at work or locks both the bedroom and bathroom door. She barely talks to me or even looks at me. I've tried holding her hand and she pulled it away. Everything that I try to do with her, she just ignores me. I'm just so done with her acting so distant and cold to me. I want to be able to go back to the relationship we had before she lost her son, or even before she started acting distant to me. My one friend has 2 kids of her own and said that I am at fault for doing that less than 6 months after she lost her baby. Also went off on me about how I should have never commented on her weight and that a lot of people would turn to food as a comfort. My girlfriend was diagnosed with binge eating disorder when she was 13. She went to treatment, and that's when she became a health nut, and said that I will never understand how she currently feels. But we both agreed that we wanted to have more kids. This conversation took place after he passed, so I feel like that should have given her some closure towards his death. I feel like if she's acting this way, then our relationship isn't going to last much longer. I know that her dad told her recently that she is still welcome to move back home, and even offered to pay for her grief counseling that she goes to 3 times a week. I don't know how long I can put up with her having this much attitude. I'm worried that I'm going to make the same mistake if she doesn't take care of my needs soon. I just need to get her back to who she was before. What can I do to help her get over this? Is there anything I can say to make this better?
My girlfriend insisted on an open relationship and now wants to close it, but I'm having the time of my life. How do I proceed? So, me and my girlfriend are both 23 and have been dating for 4 years now. She had an ex before me, but it's my first and everything. Well, 6 months ago, she said she was looking into having an open relationship and it would be good for the 2 of us to get some experience. That way we wouldn't get bored of each other. I was very against the idea, but she said there was no other option for her and I didn't want to lose her, so I agreed. We made the rule that we tell each other who and when we were hooking up with and others. And after 2 days of this starting, she went and slept with her ex. I was kind of sad, and to lift my spirits, my friends took me to a club. We danced and enjoyed our time there and joined a girl group. One of them started grinding on me and I took her number. We met up later at my place and we slept together and it was so much better. My girlfriend was what one would call a pillow princess. I had told my girlfriend about her and she just sent a thumbs up emoji and a text that she'd be hooking up with her ex again. It was weird and it did click to me that she just wanted to mess around with her ex, but I was also having fun and didn't want to close up again. I was feeling confident, handsome, and attractive for the first time in a while, and I realized that she never actually made me feel that way. We started seeing each other less and less. We went from hanging out daily for the first 2 years to 3 or 4 times a week to once a week. One day we were out at the mall together and she stopped at a store to try on some clothes. I ran into a friend of mine in the store and we started chatting and openly flirting and ended it with her telling me that she hoped we could meet again soon in front of my girlfriend. I think on that day she changed a bit. She stopped sending me a text telling me who she was hooking up with, and she said it was because she wasn't hooking up with anyone anymore. We started spending more time together because she wanted to. She started initiating more and started trying out new stuff and generally being more affectionate. I knew this was love bombing, but I enjoyed it, so I didn't really do much. I still took advantage of the open relationship though and would still go out to have fun, and this started irking her. She asked me why I was still with others now that she was giving me all the attention I wanted, and she insinuated that I wanted to cheat on her, which is why I agreed. To which I said I was the reluctant one and she brought it up. She said she regretted it and she only had one partner and realized he wasn't as good as I was, so she ditched him and now she wants to close the relationship again. I told her what she was like in bed and how I felt horrible around her before, and opening up our relationship brought back my confidence. She started crying and hugged me and said that she didn't know that and she'd make up for it with me and asked me if I was going to leave her. I said it had crossed my mind, but I thought not to. She cried harder, then fell asleep, and I realized that I really don't want to close this relationship. I've been feeling attractive and desired for a while now, and I really enjoy it. She said she'll do her best to make me feel like that and said that she loves me and doesn't want me to leave her, and she's also changed a bit, complimenting me and stuff, which makes me feel a bit better. I'm actually willing to close the relationship, but I would need a guarantee that she won't go back to being what she was, which I don't really have. So here I am. Do you guys think it's best to close the relationship? Should I even stay in this relationship? Will she go back to being what she was?
I'm 25 female and my soon-to-be ex, 28 male, is gay and hid that from me. I found out because I caught him cheating, and he admitted that he knew he wasn't attracted to me in that way, but he wanted kids and a normal life. I don't care that he's gay, but I will never forgive him for leading me on so that he could use me to have kids. So it's over. End of story. The problem is, his family are fundamentalists, not jobs, except for a few members, and his mother is the interfering mother-in-law from hell. Not being related to her anymore is another plus to leaving. His family doesn't believe in divorce. So under the guise of picking up some paperwork and other items I have found that were my ex's, she cornered me about how I'm being childish and marriage is about commitment, forgiveness, and working through problems, etc. It became apparent that my ex didn't tell his family that he cheated. He told his mom that I was divorcing him because we weren't having sex often enough for me. I tried to be patient and explain that he had cheated, and that's why. I wasn't going to go into greater detail because I know how his parents are, and it's none of their business. Mother-in-law's advice, I kid you not, was that men are just that way, and if I wanted to have sex more and for him not to stray, that I should make myself more attractive to my husband and be a better wife. I lost the plot completely. It had been a sad and hard day already, and that was the last straw. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I told her that the only thing that would make me more attractive to my ex would be a sex change operation, and that I hope that he and his boyfriend adopted her some grandchildren so that she could finally shut the hell up about it. Not my finest moment, but she just hit the worst and rawest nerves that she could have, and I exploded. It's evidently turned into a huge family drama. He's probably going to be disowned, and my ex called sobbing that I've ruined his life out of spite. I don't really know how to feel about it. I do feel bad for him that his parents are such awful people and there were just no good outcomes for him, but I also feel like he made his own bed here too. Also, he's known that he was gay since before he met me, so this wasn't a new discovery or admission to himself. He has a boyfriend that he's been dating since 6 months before we were married. I went through his computer after catching him in the act and kicking him out and found messenger logs and other evidence going back before he even started dating me. He literally set this up so that he could have a nice Mormon family on the surface to keep his family happy. That's it. He never loved me at all. I was just the first girl to express a sustained interest. So, am I in the wrong for outing my ex to get his mother off my back? Part 2. Am I wrong for outing my ex to get his mother off my back? I finally got on radio silence for my ex's immediate family after the incident with my mother-in-law, so that's a relief. I work at the same place with a couple of his extended family members, so I still have to see them, but they haven't brought it up. They all know to contact me only through my lawyer now, and everything big that belongs to my ex has been passed on already, so anything else can be forwarded through legal office now. I shouldn't have to interact directly with them, but it's hard to avoid people forever in a small town. My ex tried to break into the house the day that I posted that story while I was at work, and I pressed charges. I don't know how it's going to shake out or why he's doing this when it can only get him in worse trouble, but I'm letting my lawyer and police handle it, and I'm staying with my parents for a little while until I feel safer. I don't know what's happened between him and his family, and I don't want to try to find out. My ex and I guess his family before the fight with mother-in-law spread rumors about me, and it's made living here very hard. It's a smallish community and people treat me differently now. The local stake president has been kind and, after being told about the cheating, no mention of orientation, said he would try to help with the rumors. I don't want to leave the area, but I'm thinking that I may need to, at least for a while, after the legal stuff is over. My lawyer and I have decided to go for annulment, since that'll take less time and be harder to fight in this case. Hopefully the ex won't contest it. I'm glad that we never combined finances, so there won't be too many joint assets to sort out. I will be okay financially still. This could have been much worse if I was a stay-at-home mom or something. I'm also going to start therapy soon. I was thinking about it anyway, even before all of this came out, because I've been feeling depressed over how things were working in my marriage for a while. I don't want to lose any more of myself and my time than I already have, and I hope one day I'll feel good enough to start dating again. Also, please, don't generalize gay people because of my story. There are LGBTQ plus people close to my heart, and they would never do this to anyone. I don't believe that outing people is generally okay, or I wouldn't feel so bad about all this. My ex's family set this up with their intolerance. I wish none of it happened for me and for him.